5,200 pounds, almost dead on the nose. This is a 2509S Rockwood Mini Lite here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Murphy bed, bunkhouse, outside kitchen, and a very high-class equipment package is ideal for someone with impeccable taste and a lightweight towing desire. When it comes to travel accessibility, at first glance, this one's not really friendly for turtle use, which is with the slide in like it is currently. We'll open it up in a second. Because you look here and you go, oh man, it really is kind of pinched off right here. Now, you could do the Bo and Luke Duke and them Hazard boys could go flying over that there countertop, but you don't have to. It's really not that bad. There's a couple different ways you could do it. You could plant a knee on that right there and kind of step through. Or if you've got somewhat long legs like mine, you can just kind of step over the dinette real quick. And with one step, voila, we're in here to the refrigerator. We're over here to the bunks, to the storage. You can get to the bathroom. You can get to pretty much anything you need for a travel stop in this one. And then, when you're ready, it's just the simple push of one button, and voila, that slide will open itself up, and you're treated to a large living space in a small towing camper. And when Rockwood really came up with this modern Murphy bed camper idea, because they are really the ones that pioneered this concept. There'd been iterations of it previously, but never the easy one-piece setup Murphy bed like you have right here. What they created was something with the living space and seating of a super slide RV, but with the lightweight nature of a smaller camper. And in more recent seasons, they've upgraded this not only from the easy one-piece Murphy bed that you see right here, to also including that front windshield with nightshade. So if you do want to leave the bed down during the day, if you want this thing to look and feel even larger, if you want to be able to peek your head outside at night to figure out what was that sound, you can do all of that. Now you notice on both sides of the bed there are full-length hanging closets, although each side of the bed does benefit from an extra large side stand, very handy for CPAP users or just simply people who want a phone next to them, and their own individual drawer. Now, up here by the head area, you can see that they have added a full-on headboard, and if you look at the upper left corner of that mattress, you see that little black power outlet sticking out at you? If you are really looking for a perfect place for an alarm clock, or again, CPAP machines, you have it right there. And I see these nylon buckle straps across the bed. That is part of the one-piece, easy setup nature of a Rockwood Murphy bed. The benefit of a Murphy bed from Rockwood, and Winnebago does a very similar concept, you don't have to make the bedding every morning and every night, because it's not what I call a bendy bed where the mattress buckles and folds. The whole bed is one piece. You just simply strap everything down, flip it, forget it, put it away, and get back to camping, man. But Rockwood wasn't content with having just one of the best Murphy beds. They wanted to find a way to make it different, better, sharper, more feature-equipped than anybody else had. So they came up with what I'm calling the Cinema Sofa. This is the only Murphy bed of which I'm aware that actually has these sort of theater seat style recliner kickouts right here. Now what's more than that, to make it even more like a common Rockwood theater seat, you have these removable swivel side stands right here. So if you want a place to play with a little tablet or like say a Microsoft Surface or something like that, you get the idea, you've got a good place for it. But did you notice, if you actually back the video up a little bit, you'll notice I did not remove them when the bed was in the down position. You can simply swivel them out of the way if you don't want them there, or you just simply pull up on them to release them. There's nothing that actually locks them in place. Now what's cool here is even with that kick out in the out position, you still have plenty of room for people who walk in and out of the RV to come and go. And you might notice how you do have a full-on privacy curtain if you want to close that bedroom area off. Now you've got one switch for all your main cabin lights, but Rockwood always doing Rockwood things. They always find a way to do more. Not only do you just have a switch for everything, but each light also maintains its own individual switch. That is something that not every manufacturer does. Kind of like the fact that they have a dual ducted centralized air system here, and these air vents can actually both turn and close if need be, so that you can put the air exactly where you want it, exactly when you want it. Now these front lights up here, those are actually on a separate switch. So if you do want to have that privacy shade closed, you can individually turn that light off and have separate bedroom lights. Leave it to these guys to think of just about anything. Now at first glance, this TV appears in a very awkward, uncommon location. Most brands are going to put the TV over there, and that's not a bad spot for it, not by any stretch of the imagination. But it means that there's certain people on the dinette that just don't get a good look at it. Whereas if it's up here, if I'm sitting on the sofa where I'm at, or I can turn the TV to face the dinette, pardon my little thumb bandage, nasty paper cut earlier. Man, paper cuts hurt for no bigger than they are. Anyway, back to the point. I think you all know what I'm talking about. But the point is, you can move this TV anywhere you want. In point of fact, that TV can actually even dismount and go outside. Now, what's also kind of cool here is it makes this whole area look and feel bigger. Now, you're not... So the next thing someone's going to say is, yeah, but you lost that storage. You didn't. You actually gained storage in the push-pull, and I will show you where that is in just a moment here, but we haven't got there yet. One of the upgrades that we do have on this RV in this video are the raised panel hardwood cabinet, refrigerator door fronts. That is one of the upgrades that you see here. Kind of like the larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner. The RV in this video has that feature. Whereas, it's an optional piece of equipment. Typically, that's how they're going to be equipped here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. But I want everyone to always understand that this video is general in its information. It is not all-encompassing across the board. And if my eyes do not deceive me, in an undocumented update, Rockwood has just begun putting a larger 8 cubic foot refrigerator freezer in this RV. Now, a 6 cubic and an 8 cubic foot look awful similar at a glance. But I've been doing this a long time, and I could still be wrong, but that sure looks like an 8 cube right there. So you now have 33% more cold storage inside of this RV than you had previously. That is an awesome monster feature. Just like last year, we have the solid surface countertops all through the kitchen here, but look how they added that extra drawer right above like your whole electronic station. A little cabinet door below. I mean, just absolutely not an ounce of space gone to waste. Now you see that heat duct right there in that cabinet? You see them in the cabinets. You don't see them in the floor because this is ventless heating, or floor ventless heating, as it were, so that you don't have any sort of, vents on the floor that you step on, you can sweep dirt into, etc. Now, speaking of countertop, you can see how they have gone away from a free-floating, removable countertop extension to just simply a quick flip-up and self-locking countertop extension. It is just that simple. Even a left hand with a paper cut can get it done, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the things I thought of is, when you're going down the road, you need to flip that down. But when you're at your campsite, you need that prep space. That's why they have both a tempered glass top recessed flush mount stove for more countertop space effectively, as well as a recessed stainless steel sink right here. So you have maximum potential prep space, and then they increase it even further with this. And I look down and I say, right below that, that is just begging for a big wastebasket or something like that. As long as we're pointing in this direction, let's go ahead and take a look at the rear bunk area. You notice how the bottom bunk folds up and you've got yourself an extra large sort of cargo bunk space right there. If you want to, you could back, say, a bike or two in there and kind of leave the handlebars hanging out. I would recommend maybe wrapping those in a blanket so they don't gouge anything up. But you might also notice how Rockwood is giving us extra thick bunk mats. This is something not a lot of brands do. Jayco does something very similar. I used to say that Rockwood or Jayco beds, in the bunks rather, were about 50% thicker than industry standard, but at this day and age, they are twice as thick as industry standard. Not because these got thicker, because everybody else got thinner and a little bit dollar cheaper. Now, you might also notice there's a little ladder up here in the corner. Once again, in a case of Rockwood doing Rockwood things, they're actually including a ladder, so the kids don't have to climb up and down and, get scuffs on everything, and you don't have to heave the kids up. Now, here's another thing. Whether they did it intentionally or not, I don't know. And it comes awful close. But you notice that even with that ladder in the down position, you can still open and close the bathroom door unimpeded. And that right there is something that most Murphy beds simply can't do. And then again, Rockwood doing Rockwood things, little detail. They have the Flappy Doodle 9000 Deluxe up here, Series 3 Mark V. And, just so that the nothing smashes into anything. It's just all those little details. That little springy flapper doodle thing there, it doesn't cost very much, but it's worth so much because it just prevents you from gouging everything up. Now down here, you might notice how this table is fully free floating. So if you do want to take it outside for picnic time and leave this in something of a lounge position, you can. You might also notice how over here in the slide area, this is where you're not losing storage in the kitchen. You're just moving the TV and gaining storage in total. And basically, ladies and gentlemen, everything opens for storage. Now, first of all, you see how they gave you drawers for easy access to the bench end storage right here. That's really cool. But someone's thinking, yeah, but what about the whole back row of that U-dinette? Never fear. What they did is they incorporated a slide side access door to access that as effectively outside storage. So this RV has more outside storage than you might realize when we step outside. Now, over here, they extended the pantry. They extended the slide to include this pantry, but what's more is it's not just a pantry. You might find that these are removable shelves and you do have a hanging rod in there. So if you need extra closet and or wardrobe storage, you have all of that too. And while they're at it, hey, why not load all this up here? Now let's talk a couple key things. This is all pocket screwed cabinetry. We like to outfit this, the wood tones you're looking at here, because there are two different wood tones from Rockwood. This is called maple. And what maple does is it does upgrade you to a maple hardwood door frame with hardwood raised panel door insert versus flat panel, which is the standard wood tone. So they're both pretty much the same color brown. This one just has more of a upscale, kind of ritzy feel with those raised panel doors, and it does seem to shine a little more in the light when it's directly exposed to anything. And if we need to pack in the kids and friends and family and cousins and everybody else, you always have this extra large U-dinette that you can fold down here. Now this is a true U-dinette, meaning it can be an adult size sleeper as well. And you might notice how for privacy you do have nice pleated shades for both those windows, including that slide side airflow window. I do not use fisheye lenses. I feel like that's deceptive, and I don't do that kind of stuff. This is an open feeling vaulted ceiling right here. Makes everything look and feel bigger. You might notice how it looks even bigger because everything's lighter and brighter with the really heavy lighting package put into these Rockwood. So that certainly doesn't hurt anybody either. We'll talk more about the construction of everything outside. But as we're coming in here to the bathroom, as long as I'm looking up, I want to point this out, because this is a big deal. This is the larger multi-speed max air vent fan that you get in any Rockwood towable RV. And it does include the roof vent cover as well. And what I like about that is, we can install those things very simply and easily here at Haylett RV. But when we do it, Rockwood doesn't guarantee it. Well, we back our work here at Haylett RV. I'm not worried about that, but I know that not every dealer does. Sometimes it could boil down to, a series of finger pointing. Well, when Rockwood does it, that's not the case anymore. Now, notice how you've got a nice viewing window here. Obviously, that has its own privacy shade, but I like the little corner elevated organizer here, that little shelf, because it gives you a better space for things like, toothbrushes and whatnot. Now, you've got great legroom in here, even for a bigger fellow like me. Again, ventless flooring, in case we have any sort of, sprinkles or something like that. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Full shower surround paneling. Now, their laminated roof structure, we'll talk more about when we actually walk on the roof later, allows them to place this skylight anywhere they want. So they put it at the very side of the RV as far as they could, at the shortest point of the RV, to give you maximum headroom throughout the entirety of the arch. And then you got little things like this. You've got the little shower caddy that they put up here, because these little plastic corner shelves on these shower surrounds, they're worthless. They're absolutely worthless. But these pockets, well, they're not worthless. And the thing is, this has a little quick release system, so if you want to pull that out and actually really hose or scrub it down and get any sort of, soap scum or any sort of, leftover, whatever in there that kind of splashed off you when you're taking a bath, guys, it just couldn't be simpler and easier. But that's the extra little stuff Rockwood's always doing for you. One quick note on this exterior before we get too far along. For several years now, Rockwood has offered different exterior skin tones, just like they offer different interiors. What we're looking at here is the upgraded, very modern white and gray. Don't worry though, that brown on brown that you've loved from years past is still available. We do try to keep a little bit of both of it on hand here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It just never fails. Whatever color we have on hand usually seems to be the, quote, wrong one. And there's no shortage of details to get involved in on these mini lights. We've got the easy magnet holdbacks for those all the baggage doors, really, anything that flips up. And you can see how you do maintain outside pass-through storage via the under sofa storage compartment right there. Also, little solar prep plug right on the side, so if you are going to go boondocking off the grid, you can help keep those batteries topped off. Speaking of which, there is room for multiple batteries on the front there. Mini lights also benefit from 30-pound propane tanks versus more common 20 pounds. Now 20s are easier to exchange, they're a little lighter weight, and if it's a Sunday to go to a gas station, if you have to, you could swap one out. But 30s will give you 50% more reserve time, which usually is enough to plan your route. There's also a lot of people, and I think that it resonates well with mini light owners, who want to keep their tanks and don't want to swap out for a publicly owned tank, as it were. I think that's a thing some people think about. Now, the windows on these will always be frameless, but you can see that beautiful front windshield. And I specify the difference between a window and a windshield. You can actually tap on it lightly, like say with keys or a ring, and you can hear the difference. It is a thicker, stronger glass. Now, the pass-through compartment is a little bit easier to get into from this side because there weren't things like awning arms and whatnot that they had to fight with. But the fact is, you can get in here pretty simply if you have to, or you could just simply lift up the sofa. Now, the underbelly is enclosed, so if you want that extra bit of protection there, you got it, which is one of the same reasons that we put the slide awning topper on this beauty. So you have the extra protection from falling debris, and frankly just a little bit of shade on top of that slide, so that in conjunction with the tinted windows, it'll help keep the RV a little bit cooler in the hot summer sun. Unfortunately, I forgot my keys because I'm just that smart, but this vertical door and that horizontal door, that is the back side of the storage stuff within the slide. Remember that tall vertical pantry closet and all of the storage behind the rear bench? That's where you would locate it. Now, there's a very different thing going on here with Rockwood suspension. They have a four-wheel independent torsion axle and suspension system, which is easily a best-in-class feature. On a model like this, you're looking at anywhere from $350 to $500 more cost per axle with that. But what that allows for is superior ride and handling as compared to a conventional leaf spring system. Also, superior cornering and load balancing, because the way that system works is basically if you're going around a corner, let's say you're going around one of those curly Q exits, and you're trying to turn to the right. Well, the trailer would normally want to lean to the left. This suspension system will try to hold it flat. So effectively at high speeds, mini lights will corner like they're on rails. And you might notice how back in that little corner right there, all your little hookups are located. We are prepped and ready for Furrion rear view camera. You could set that up for backup only or observation models. There is a little bit of a difference, and naturally cost gives you the upgraded in-motion features. But over here on the sort of, we'll call it the party side of the camper, this is where it gets really fun and interesting. They put the biggest awning on this thing they could, and that is one of the reasons, that front baggage door, you do have to do a little bit of a dog leg left to kind of get inside of that, because the awning arm had to be in that location, or they had to get rid of the bedroom window, and they didn't want to get rid of windows. Now over here in the outside kitchenette, you've got that very popular Capital grill that pulls out of that rolled steel countertop, and it comes right to you, and if you don't want to cook, it's just there for extra counter space. Over here we have our handy little campsite sort of convenience or courtesy station, and additionally you can see how, I forgot to set it up, this table right here mounts on that black rail, and there is an RVQ outside grill included as well. So you have entertainment, you have grilling, you have a separate grill over here, and they have two separate propane hookups. I mean, you can go nuts out here in this thing without even getting into the barley pop and bottled water in the outside fridge. So the question is, why two outside cook stations? And the answer is, so you can cook up a storm. Some people like to cook their side dishes on one and their main course on the other, vice versa. Maybe you only need one or the other. Maybe you don't want to monkey with a portable grill and you just want to use this thing. Or vice, you get the idea. You can do pretty much whatever you want with it. Now, this is the TV from inside. It does not include two televisions, but like I said, there's multiple different ways you can go about setting this camper up to work for you, or you can add a second TV. That is a friction hinge entry door with that extra large handle for easy come and go, which is exactly why they have the MORryde step system here with those adjustable foot pegs to marry up to any campsite. But not only are they the MORryde steps, they're the 0G variety. So these are the ones that will not fall, hit your feet, fall on your pets, hit the grandkids in the head. They're self-supporting with a handy little gas strut mechanism, so that, I mean, it is a simple, easy, one-hand up and down operation. Very nice if maybe you've had a bad shoulder, or if you have, you know, say a bad back or something like that. And finally, the roof. So something I haven't talked a lot about yet, actually, because Rockwoods are so feature-laden, is their construction. This is a 6-sided aluminum skeleton product, so all aluminum skeleton. We are 5-side laminated, so the only thing on this that is not laminated is actually the floor. And they have the exact same really heavy-duty floor construction on this that they have on giant fifth wheels, like a 16,000-pound Jayco Pinnacle. They've got their studs, aluminum studs set longitudinally down the floor with 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking and insulation packed through those. And what that allows for is, really, the reason they do it is because they're big Rockwood signature models. They're bigger, longer, and they need a stronger floor. But Rockwood builds everything one way. So this little mini Lite gets the same construction as the big mini Lite. How cool is that? They're also very heavy-handed with their roof sealants, and obviously it's walkable. I'm walking all over up here. Here we've got the Wi-Fi Ranger. Basically, this thing has effectively like a built-in Wi-Fi router. It's technically a little bit more than that. If you're curious about what that does, we've done separate videos on it. The manufacturer of that component right there has excellent information themselves, but we're also happy to dig into that a little bit further for you. Remember that these do have an optional 15,000 BTU air upgrade capacity, which is typically how we've outfitted them here at Haylett RV. Also, remember, your Max Air roof vent fan does have the roof vent cover accompanying with it anytime you get the bigger fan from Rockwood RV, which is always standard in at least the bathroom and can be optioned into other locations. So there you have it, guys. There's a whole lot more to learn about these. I've really just done a surface job on this. I hope you appreciate what we've done. If you do, I don't care where you are. All I ask is you give us a call and give us the opportunity to work with you here at Haylett RV. You can see that we are a huge place with a literal sea of inventory in a little small town. So you get the big dealer benefits, like getting the huge volume discounts and pricing that we get at Haylett RV, but with the benefit of small town staffing. So, that sounds good to you guys. Give us a call. 800-256-5196. Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.